Passing your real estate exam is probably one of the most important things that you need to do as a real estate agent in your new career. Hi, my name is Nikita Pavlov. I'm with Westbrook Realty, and today I'm going to share 5 tips with you on how you can successfully pass your real estate state exam on your first try. Let's get going. Tip number 1, study really hard. I know this is a very generic kind of statement, but it's true. You need to study very hard. The reason being is because the state exam, it's not easy. So when you come in, the course, they're gonna give you 3 books. They're gonna give you real estate principles, the real estate practice, and real estate law. 3 electives, and one of them is elective, not 3. One of them at the end is an elective. The biggest book is called the Real Estate Principles book. It's huge, it's this thick. When you see it, it's gonna intimidate you, but that's the most important book in the whole entire section. The other 2, you don't really need to know very much, but the Real Estate Principles is the key. You wanna read that book from beginning to end. Every single page, every single word, and write down and take notes for every single chapter, and take the quizzes, because the quizzes will be on the test. But the quizzes, they will be phrased differently, they will be said differently. So you really want to make sure that you know everything that the book is talking about. All the chapters, all the key phrases, everything. It's very important, and it's going to contribute a lot to you passing your state exam in the first time. So my suggestion is study very hard, 2 to 3 hours every single day while I'm preparing for your state exam. Don't play around with it, guys. It's very important. Tip number 2, study as much as you can about the state exam. What I personally did is I went on YouTube and I looked up a lot of videos about different ways people did and studied for the exam. I took a little bit from every single video and I implemented it into my own way. But truth be told, there is really no simple way to do it. You just have to study, and study hard. But I would say definitely look, if you got someone like a friend, for example, if you have a friend who passed the state exam, give them a call, give them a ring, ask them, how hard was it? What kind of questions were there? Is there something in particular that you need to be studying for and looking out for? These are things you need to do to successfully pass the state exam on your first try. Again though, if you don't have a friend or anyone that you know who has passed the state exam, go on the YouTube channel and look up videos about people's experiences in them going about the state exam. It's very helpful, and it'll be a great tool for you to understand the process of getting ready for that big day. Tip number 3, you need to study your terms and vocabulary words for the state exam. This is very important, guys, and don't steer away from it, because this can make or break you. There'll be lots of questions on there, which, by the way, it's a multiple choice test, and there's about 150 questions in total, but that's in a different side. But essentially what you want to do is study every single vocabulary word that's in every chapter. This is important because they're going to trick you with these words, so you really want to know what you're reading. So when you read a question, like, you know, there'll be questions about encroachments, there'll be questions about deeds, certificates, transfer of title. They're going to ask you all these things. They're going to ask you about escrow. They're going to ask you about, you know, all these processes, and you have to know what those terminologies are and what they mean. It's the more you know for the terminologies and vocabulary words, the better your chances will be in understanding the questions when they're plugged into certain questions that they ask you. So definitely study the vocabulary, study the terminologies. What I did was I wrote them down on a piece of paper. I wrote down the definitions of all those words, and I just kept repeating them to myself and writing them over and over and over until it was melded into my head. So then I knew exactly when they said, what's an encroachment? I knew what it was. What's a deed of title? I knew what it was. It doesn't matter. I knew it, and when I took the state exam, I passed it with ease. So study the vocab words, it's important. Tip number 4, take your time. Easy, breathe. This can be very challenging because the thing is, it is a timed exam. So you got about 3 hours to take it. However, you want to take your time. Go through each question, read through each word, understand what they're asking you. You don't want to rush through this thing, because if you rush through this thing, you're going to start stumbling, you're going to start being nervous, and you might make mistakes that you knew the answer to. So my advice to you is take your time. Don't look at anyone else. Stay in your lane, like focus exactly on what you gotta do. What I did is when I took the state exam, there were some questions I didn't know. So for example, out of 150, maybe toward the end, I had 40 questions that I skipped because I just didn't know the answer. That's okay. Skip those questions. Don't take forever on one problem. So if you get stuck on question 25 and you're there for over 5 minutes, it's okay. Leave it, move on. Go to the next one. It's okay, because if you leave it and you move on, you'll have time at the end to come back and fix that answer and get the right answer. So definitely take your time. Don't rush and don't look at the clock. They will tell you when it's time, when your time is up. I take time away from your equation, but you might want to check sometimes on the clock because you'll see how much if you're ahead or behind. But again, take your time. Don't stress about it. If you studied for it, time shouldn't be a problem for you. So definitely, it all goes back to just studying, but take your time. And tip number 5, you guys may not like what I'm about to tell you, but it's how long you have to study for every day while preparing for your state exam. I know I touched this kind of early on in the video briefly, but I want to take this last opportunity and really tell you how important it is to study every day leading up to your state exam. You need to study at least 2 to 3 hours a day, every single day, guys, until you take the state exam. The state exam is not easy. If someone ever told you that it's an easy test, it's not. It's hard, and they're gonna wanna try to trick you in it. They're gonna flip questions around. They're gonna really wanna make sure you know your stuff, because this is a complex career at the end of the day. We're dealing with legal documents, we're dealing with people's money, we're dealing with a lot of things. So my advice is you need to study for at least minimum 2 hours a day. If you can do 3, great. I sometimes studied 4 hours for when I got closer and closer, like the month out of getting to the state exam, I was studying probably close to 4 hours a day. Yeah, I know. Nobody likes to study, I understand, but hey, it'll pay off. You'll pass it your first time and you never have to worry about it again. Then you can just go enjoy your real estate career and make that good old commission. But I'm telling you, study 2 to 3 hours a day, minimum 2. It'll pay off, trust me. Trust me. All right. Well, hey, thanks for sticking around today, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found the tips I gave you useful, and I wish you luck on passing your state exam. You can do it. You can do it. Just study, believe in yourself, and don't worry, don't stress about it. Everything's gonna work out just fine for you guys. All right, take care. My name is Nikita Palav with Westbrook Realty, and I'll see you guys in the next coming videos. Have a good one. Bye.